Love is Jackie.
My heart sunk. I kneeled down to look him in the eye.
James, stop saying his name.
Yeah, she keeps using the foot like that's
James?
what mothers do.
James, I've had enough of the damn laughing Jack thing. He's not real. Now, this is a very serious situation, and I need to know who gave you the goddamn candy.
I could see my son's eyes cheer up.
Not everyone's life runs in straight lines. At Sophia, we get that. Our flexible, affordable, self-paced...
Papa, Laughing Jack did give me the candy.
This is so funny because I remember being a child and reading this like this is the scariest thing I've ever seen.
Rolling like this.
Yeah. Closed my eyes and took a deep breath. James had never lied to me, but what he's telling me is impossible. I made him spit out the candy and I throw it the rest away. James appears to be fine. Maybe I'm just overreacting after all. Could have gotten it from Tom and Linda next door, Mr. Walker down the street. Worse, I've put two streakers. Mr. Walker down the street.
Mr. Walker down the street? You're like, oh my God. I mean, like immediately becomes much more
I have
real.
to call the police now. Either way, I'm gonna have to keep a closer eye on James. The night at the fence better shoes on the side of the bedroom. Suddenly I was woken by a loud band coming from the kitchen. I sprung out of like a heavy metal band. I sprung out of bed and hurried down the stairs. When I got to the kitchen, I was horrified. Everything on the counters had been thrown on the floor, and our dog Fido hung dead from the line fixture. Great off, y'all. Oh my gosh. I was kind of thinking to myself, what else isn't that over the sun? And like,
Our dog Fido hung dead from the light fixture.
does that bring back any memories?
Oh God. You know what actually made me think of was in the Urban Spook episode with the baby flying up their light. So now I'm just thinking of the dog being like,
The baby. Now the funniest part about the Urban Spook was like, there's a mention of the ceiling fan spinning with the baby on it.
Yeah.
So I imagine like fully pulled out to the side, like,
oh, it's bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
His stomach was cut open and stuffed with candy. There it is. The same type that James was eating earlier that day. I dropped the swiftly broke one by a sharp scream coming from James's room, followed by loud crashes. I quickly grabbed a knife from the drawer and moved up the stairs at the speed only
Oh, man.
child
This
who's
part's
an
tough.
agent could have. Okay, only a mother, I imagine.
Yeah, only mothers can do this fast. Sorry, Olympics.
I burst through the door and flicked on the light. Everything in the room was knocked over and tossed on the floor. My poor son in his bed crying and shaking in fear. Urine staining the sheets.
Oh God, I pissed myself.
I scooped up my child and ran out of the house and went next door to Tom and Lindsay's house. Luckily, they were still awake. They let me use their phone and I called the police. Boy, that friend's funny. Like, Tom and Lindsay, you'll remember them from the candy mission earlier. It didn't take them long to arrive, and I explained what happened.
I am going to eat only steak for the next 365 days to lose weight.
This was a typical meal.
They looked at me as if I were crazy. They searched the house, and all they found was a dead dog and 2 trash rooms. The officer... Nothing to see here. A disemboweled dog with candy in it. Yeah, it's a normal Tuesday.
Well, I guess this is what it is.
The officer had told me that someone had probably gotten into the house and done this right before making a quick escape when they heard me coming up the stairs. Yeah, one of those dogs disemboweled. Oh wait, I was right. Yeah, he said disemboweled, did they not? A second. Did they not use the word? Hold on.
No. You're high.
It'll happen. Just wait. Shut up. I knew it wasn't true. All the doors were locked and none of the windows were open. Whatever was in my house didn't come from outside. The next day, James stayed inside. I didn't want him to leave.
I like that this is him looking out the window. I want to go outside.
I went into the garage and found his old baby monitor and set it up in his room if anything comes in this night. I was going to be able to hear it. I went to the kitchen and grabbed the largest knife from the drawer and put it on my neck. Stationary printer not letting anything hurt my little boy. Something like that. Soon enough, night came. I put James to bed. He was afraid, but I promised him that I wasn't going to let anything.
Dang. Yeah, Halo is such a good game, bro.
Before closing the door, I was freaking out. I tried to stay up as long as I could, but after a few hours, I felt myself drifting off. My baby would be safe for the night, and I needed to sleep. Just as I lay my head on the pillow, I heard soft noise come from the baby monitor I put on my nightstand. First, it sounded like a kind of radio thing. Then turned into a soft moan. James was asleep. What?
Keep going.
Then I heard it. We're not going there. Then I heard the laugh of my nightmare. That horrible laugh. I sprung up from the bed and grabbed a knife from under my pillow. I rushed over to James and started creaking the door open. I tried the light switch, but it wouldn't come on. I took a step in and filled a warm, thick liquid on my feet. Suddenly, James's nightlight came on. I could see the absolute floor laid out in front of me. James's body was nailed on the wall. This one? something funny, Hunter? The nail piercing through his hands and feet. Oh, I forgot he was crucified.
Fucking little Jesus being crucified right before I.
Mama, why? His chest was cut wide open and his organs hung down to the floor. That's basically disemboweling. His eyes and tongue had been removed along with most of his teeth. How much time did he have? I was disgusted.
Were you? Were you? Oh my god. Gross. Oh my god.
I could hardly believe this was my baby boy. Then I heard it again, the soft, desperate moan. James was still alive.
Oh my god.
My baby, I like the guys who are like, woo! My baby, my poor baby, in so much pain and barely clinging to life. I ran across the room and vomited on the floor. But my sickness was interrupted by a horrible cackle coming from behind me. I spun around while still wiping boys. It's supposed to be white, it says whipping bile from my mouth. Then out of the shadows emerged the fiend responsible for all this horror, laughing Jack. His ghost white skin. His ghost white skin. And that is my and matted black hair hung down to his shoulders. He had piercing white eyes surrounded by dark black rings. His twisted smile revealed a row of sharp, jagged teeth, and his skin didn't look like skin at all. It almost looked like rubber or plastic. He wore a catchy black and white clown outfit with striped sleeves and socks. His body itself was grotesque, his long arms hanging down past his waist, and the way he was poised made him look almost boneless like a ragdoll. He let out his sickening laugh as to let me know he was pleased with my reaction to his work.
Oh my god.
He then turned around slowly in front. Why did you say that?
Finally.
What is I
Okay.
think
Checkpoint. Give me a checkpoint.
No, I thought you were like the nerve. Like that's what got you. The laugh.
You know what? I'm gonna go with that one.
Alright.
I like that better. Laughing Jack.
Inappropriate. He then turned around slowly in front of James and began to laugh even more at the terrific sight he picked out. That was enough shaking from my chair.
Get away from him, you bastard!
I rushed at the monster, raising my knife above my head and stabbed him. But as soon as the knife touched me, he disappeared in a cloud of black smoke. Like a vampire.
Oh, no.
The knife passed through and pierced James' splashing the warm blood on my face. No, what have I done? My baby, I killed my baby. I immediately fell to my knees and I could hear the sirens in the distance. There's the police coming. That's every one. That's one, yeah, Mama is the problem. That is every one of these stories. It's like Jeff the Killer did that. Like the beginning, like he's just in this room and the police are like,
This is just the killer.
yeah, that's
Style at all.
Yeah, and all there's friends, all these guys who like laugh or enjoy it or whatever, like just mutilate children. That was like a big thing right now. They just all copy paste each other. And then you get our made them into like e-boys and like weird artists.
That's cool.
Yeah, very much. Yeah. I immediately told them that. And I could hear the sirens and this is growing louder. My boy, my sweet baby boy. I promised Mommy would read that. I promised Mommy would protect you, but I failed. I'm sorry, James. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Police soon arrived to find yes, and I'm thinking that he's like, it's really not that bad. It's really, I still don't feel Police soon arrived to find me in front of my son, still wielding his eyes covered in my baby. The trial was short. Insanity.
We're going to the trial?
Yeah, we're just giving the I was placed in the
Fuck, I'm hearing thunder
Romulus? Jesus Christ. You know what, I promise you this is what it is. That is some obscure reference to some fandom for lore thing in 2012. And he's like,
The same shit that's like Arkham Asylum.
yeah, if this was just for like, I was placed in the Arkham, asylum.
Arkham House.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, sure. For the criminally insane, where I've been this past 2 months. It's not so bad. The only reason I'm awake now is because someone's playing Pop outside my window. I'll talk to the orderly about it in the morning. And
You know what? I'll give it. Having it become a. Do you think she just went insane and killed her kid? That's gotta be.
you are giving it way too much credit.
You think so?
A skiing clown showed up in her bedroom, in the son's bedroom, crucified him, and turned him to smoke. She stabbed her.
I see it more as a mother.
No, do not do this.
A mother looks at her kid and is kind of a loser. And she's like, I really wish James was kind of fucking cool. So he goes insane and she's like, stabby, stabby, bitch.
So he just killed him? No, stop, not for this.
Exactly.
Okay, so, with that, I'm not giving you any more forward with Laughing Jack. I hope you all enjoyed that reading of Laughing Jack at least. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for being here. Beth, you want to go ahead and give us the first story?
Enough of the big news. I'm ready to tell you.
Let's get into it. So we'll go ahead and go on to the first one. We've got... Okay. Hold on.
Oh, shit, I forgot about this.
Did you do this?
I just spoiled it. You did this? It's a lucky grip.
Okay, so at every show...
I'm not doing too good.
...stuff in the PowerPoint without telling me about it. I was supposed to hit next and we were going to the first story. Do you know what's going to pop up here? I do. What is on the screen? Can you at least read it? Can you read it?
You're gonna want to.
I'm scared.
Uh-oh. What did Daddy do? Am I right?
Were you just sitting around earlier and you're like, hey guys, I've got a great idea.
That's right.
Okay, alright, well, we're going to the first story. So our first story of tonight is The Tall Dog. Tall Dog is written by Elias Witherow, who you all will know from both Tommy Taffy, very mixed reaction.
No. Everybody who's shaking their head is bullshit.
All right, it's creepy stuff, as well as Be the Pig. Now, the same person, mind you, who decided to throw the picture of us in the hot tub of Harry, our guy in the back, has assured me that the tall dog does not contain the elements that Tommy Taffy did. However, hold on. However, Harry loves sliding. Has done it a lot, so I wouldn't put it past you to be like, yeah, just read it on stage.
We have not read this yet.
Yeah,
All right?
so
This is a Phoenix first.
As the previous 2 shows, we've done the same set list, and we're like, let's switch it up a bit, change the story. So any reactions we have to this thing are earnest, and I promise you, if something terrible happens, kill that guy who's in the back in the sound stage.
If we're going into hell, at least we're going in together.
We're going in together.
All right?
What's also really funny, I realized midway through this, there's a girl sitting at the very front up here on the women's stage. My boyfriend dragged me here. I have no idea who you two are.
She's like,
So the whole time I was sitting here like,
yeah.
it doesn't contain the Tommy Taffy on it. She's looking at me like, what are you talking about? What is your God? Is it Don't worry about it. It's fine. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into the call on. But all that out of the way, are you ready to start creeping that ass? Let's get into it. May we have some music? We always expect lessons, so it's just eyes over the top of the
I will say, yeah.
I'm going to hold it a little bit more.
I just want to point out, it is a lot. You two were on Discord during these calls, and have you also been too close? It's a fucking
The theater, I can just hide it and pretend they're not there.
Everyone's just
there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, whatever, sure.
Be brave.
We always expect life to be easier than it actually is. Why is that? Why do we insist on our own happiness? Why do we act so wrong? This society we live in?
Why does society have to be so fucking cruel? Can we talk about that for a second?
Thank you. Was that a Phoenix accent?
Is that what is it? You're like, yeah.
Society is just cruel.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It is the false advertising. Well, it's false not. Is it because of the things we watch and the books we read? Why is tragedy always so shocking? Life is a slog of disappointment and misery. This is such a great word. No. I'm fucking depressed. Sometimes your graced with pockets of joy, brief respite from all the hardship. In these moments, we feel like we have figured out what the purpose of art is. Love, family, culture, travel, natural beauty. But it's all bullshit. What a great... Thanks, Harry, for the suggestion.
Yeah, what a fucking wet blanket. Goddamn, dude, ride a roller coaster.
So fleeting hours of contentment are nothing more than a quick breath between quick.
Watch out, ladies.
A quick breath between beatings. Thank you. It's a ray of hope that gets stuck inside our minds like a cancer. We hold into it, beg for it, scream for it. During times of unbearable mental agony, but you can tell this guy wrote Tommy Tapping, having something to hope for is worse than if there was no hope at all. Hope is a lie. Right? It's a disease that tricks our minds into thinking this painful reality is going to evaporate like a puff of breath on a cold wind. Let me assure you, reality is a brutal and bloody sport. Now, someone went, oh, okay. Oh. Now, you might be reading this and thinking, I'm not like this. I have a good life, a healthy family, and I'm financially good. Let me tell you, I hope you enjoy your quick breath of clean air because there's a fog falling over your head. Man, did you write this?
I might have. In a drunken stupor, I might have written that.
We were on the plane yesterday, and I look over, and he's like 18 pages into a Word document. I'm like, what are you writing? And he's like, nothing. Like,
I tried so hard to write a creepypasta for this show, and just couldn't get it going.
Was this it? Is this the opening of it? Like, just being depressed?
I don't know.
You might not see it yet, but it's descending at a tremendous speed. When you least expect it, it'll land and devastate your entire existence. It will destroy everything you love, and it will leave you broken and weeping in the fucking gutter. Why am I telling you this? Why should you listen to this? Because the bomb's already dropped on me. The fallout's unbearable, and I can't seem to find a gas of clean air in this toxic wasteland of life. My throat burns, my eyes water, and I can't speak for fear of tearing my silent throat. My wife is dead.
Hold on! Pause! This story is called Tom Dog. There has not been one dog mentioned yet. No. Can you imagine Harley and me playing on this? It's just almost like, oh my god. Holy shit.
I have absolutely zero idea where this story is. A dog shows up somewhere, unless it's a metaphorical dog or something.
No, fuck that. Give me a dog. This better be a big ass dog.
Hold on. Is there like perhaps, I don't know, maybe some trauma you have with a dog or like a...
Hey, easy down on... Okay, no! I just want I want all you fuckers to know that my mom is here tonight. Okay? And she's pissed.
Where is she at? Raise your head. Right there.
There she is!
Yeah.
I crawled forth from that woman.
So,
What a gal.
Just for the record, because this girl's very confused.
Yeah, she's like, what?
Just for the record, did Grandpa Ernest shoot that dog?
Okay.
All right. So y'all win. Thank you.
Can we get back to the dead wife?
Yeah, sure.
Please?
Back to the line. Bring the music back, yeah. Instead of dead dogs. She died a year ago and left me alone to raise our little girl, Heather.
Bad name. Sorry, any Heathers in the house? Raise your hand. Oh, yay! Front and center. Just kidding, Heather. Good name.
Heather is all I have left. She's the gas mask I struggle to hold on to. She's the choke pride and desperation I miss from the clean bloody teeth. This is the okay. What are his 2 stories we love? Tommy Zappy and Feed the Pig. Do you remember the best part of Feed the Pig? A like 10-minute description of someone being chewed to death.
That was sick.
Yeah. So I imagine everything else is also gross.
Yeah. He's like, I'm in a loving marriage, and he writes this.
Yeah. Well, no, she's
She's
dead.
my gas mask.
Well, he was in a loving marriage. The daughter's his gas mask.
That's true. That's true.
Did you forget the thing I read
No.
a paragraph ago?
I remember. I have bad memories, but I remember.
Hey, real quick, Hunter.
Every show he fucking does this shit.
I have been asking him questions about previous Creekcast episodes, and he has gotten one right so far. Okay, Hunter. What is the Creekcast episode? No one say anything. That Mr. Wellers comes from. No one.
Oh, fuck, actually, come on. Well, I remember Mr. Willow sounds a little like this. He's got a blood bank down the south. Fuck, dude. The showers?
Yes! Oh my God! Whoa! I did not. I thought you had completely memory hold that.
Yeah.
Do you remember any details about the story of the showers?
No. Wait! The Victorian child who's just like crawling around the tunnel, right? She had like a little fucking
Yeah, they saw like a kid through the flashlight.
Yeah.
Do you remember why that there were showers? Why they were in a tunnel? No. Okay. All right. You know what? That was actually insane. I know. I never would have thought.
I'm very excited.
Okay. I'll take the points and stuff here. I'm impressed. All right. Good job. All right. Anyway.
Quiz me again, bitch.
Heather is 5 now.
Good age.
We did.
To be 5 again. Not good. Come on. God, people are like, guys, riding bikes. Remember riding bikes when you were 5? Good time.
Yeah.
God, you sick fucks.
Well, you're a YouTuber. You have to be careful.
Well,
like crazy. We did. Put the music back on, quick. We did our best to recover from the pain of my wife's death, the loss of a companion, the removal of a mother. I shudder to think my daughter had to face the bloody blade of life at such a young age. She needs to be sheltered from it. She needs protection. For a while, I thought I was providing that. But that was before the nightmare started. That was before the tall dog. There you go, there's your dog. No. I scrubbed sleep from my eyes, rolling in the darkness and checked the clock. 3 a.m. I groaned and pulled myself in the warmth of my sheets. Heather was crying from a room, calling my name. She must. Please, I'll do anything for you to not do that. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Alright, not me. She must have had a bad dream. In a daze, blinking sleepily, I shuffled out of my room and down the hers. The house was silent, and my feet scuffed over the cool hardwood floor. Heather never has bad dreams, I thought. Did I let her watch something scary before bed? I entered her room, space illuminated by a pink ballerina nightlight, and went to my daughter's side. She was curled up in a ball with her hands over her face. She was sniffling, and her pillow felt damp with tears. Cooey scooped her up and told her everything was okay. After she calmed down some, I asked her if she had had a nightmare. She looked up at me with big teary eyes and nodded. She hugged me and asked if she could sleep in my bed. I told her of course.
If I'm coming your room.
Dude, I'm playing a 5-year-old girl. I know.
I'm doing my best.
That sounded like a 58-year-old man pretending to be a 5-year-old girl.
If I'm coming your room.
Like, I don't like that character. I know, sure. Whatever makes you happy, I'm gonna keep trying. Okay. I thank you. Hey, Hunter. I love you.
Thanks, man.
Every show I do that, someone's like, "Aw." Heather asked me as I picked both up off the bed. I picked us up. You can read it. What it says. I paused. Sweetie, what are you talking about? Oh wait. I am okay. You can do this. Sorry.
Sweetie? My little angel? What are you talking about?
She wrapped herself tight around me and whispered, "No." I hated that. Oh my gosh. Ah. That was the scariest thing that's happened on that launch pad. I didn't know what to make of it. The phrase nonsense. And so I told her there were no dogs coming into the house and that we were safe. I felt her relax against me as I walked us back into my bedroom.
What is it?
I laid her down in my bed and stroked her hair until I heard the soft snores of sleep. I lay down next to her and exhaled heavily. Sleep returned to me in a rush of heavy fatigue. The next day, life resumed its predictable repetition. I got Heather ready for school and then rushed to prepare myself for work. I left her downstairs in front of the TV, half with my stomach toast as I scurried to shower and shave. It was like this every morning, but I was used to the crazy pace. As I threw my sports jacket on and bustled into the hallway to go downstairs, I paused. I bent down and wet my thumb with my tongue.
That smell. That smelly smell. It smells smelly.
I scrubbed it along the hardwood floor, wiping away a streak of dirt that ran towards Heather's room. I grit my teeth and reminded myself it wasn't a big deal. She was 5 years old and couldn't be expected to remember to take off her shoes all the time.
Hold on a second. I grit my teeth.
I had the same thought. I was like,
It's a bit aggressive for a dad. God damn, dude.
it's a 5-year-old.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
like, she's not ready to go. Like,
I wondered who the prophets would send to silence me. An arbiter, unflattered. He's using a hologram. He must be close. Come out so we may kill you. Get in line. Peter, stand firm. Go, officer. I'll follow when our reinforcements arrive.
how he's like calming himself down, like, you know. Okay, I have to be careful how I bring this up. Do you remember the joke in Tommy Taffy when we were talking about how he was like WWE slamming the child into the walls and stuff like that?
Very much aware, yeah.
Is that what the father does? Like her shoelaces aren't tied? It's like drops from the staircase.
Good parenting.
Standing, I hurried down the stairs and collected my daughter to begin our day. I switched off the TV and grabbed Heather's pink Barbie backpack, asking her if she had to go to the bathroom before school. When she said she didn't, I snatched the car keys off the kitchen counter and ushered her to the front door. As I followed Heather out, I hesitated, my hands freezing before I closed the door all the way. Tucked my head back inside and listened. I could have sworn I had heard something from upstairs. After a second, I shrugged and closed the door, walking inside. The day passed like so many before. The hands on the clock pushed forward triumphantly and finally announcing it's the workday. Not long after, the trumpets of freedom were blown. Dramatic. I found myself at home one day.
You work at an enterprise car rental company. He's like, the trumpets of freedom are blaring hot right now.
Didn't you work at Enterprise?
No.
Didn't you work at the car rental thing?
No.
I swear you told me a story.
Maybe something in your past.
No. Did you lie to me at some point? You do that a lot. Honestly. Bro. I still have no idea how old he is.
No.
He won't tell me.
46.
Okay. I ordered pizza for us, a rare delicacy for my daughter. What kind of a dad is he? Does he just look at her? Like,
You can't have pizza that much.
I spent the evening watching children's shows on Netflix, not with his daughter. I can tell.
She was upstairs.
Well, you know how it works. We have pizza and cartoons.
She just won.
I barely saw the images on the screen. The scene for the day watching on the screen. Something cool pizza didn't come by. Heather shifted and snuggled into the best friend. I smiled against her shoulder, telling her that after this episode it was best. She put up her usual resistance, but I battled it down.
Is that? Yeah, that's a Sephora at Kohl's. And it's the real deal. An entire...
That was something I had to learn how to do. My wife had always been the one to say no and do when you say it and not when not. I was always the dog. I would have to get away with a multitude of activities. It was hard to face big two brown eyes spreading against their knees. My dad heart melted every time I was mentioned, begging her not to tell her. But after the brain tumor took my wife from us, I had to learn how to balance my daughter's request with fatherly affection and parental standards. I thought I had a reason. But each passing day, I would discover another piece of the puzzle, another step closer to functional support. That this crazy process, like that was before the accident. I'm trying to just remain happy. It's really sad.
Fucking brainstorm. Those are full at my chest.
Yeah, dude, just think of the, as he's saying this, he's like frisbeeing her through like a glass pane or something. That makes you happy, right?
I'm a good dad.
I'm a good man.
Yeah.
When the show ended, I told Heather to go upstairs and brush her teeth and get ready for bed. Groaning, she obeyed and I began to clean the kitchen. I placed our plate in the dishwasher and grabbed the box. I checked my watch and saw that it was almost 11. I sighed, not realizing how late it had gone. Should have put Heather to bed 2 hours ago. So, it wasn't the end of the world. After the kitchen was clean, I turned off all the lights and made sure the front door was locked. Satisfied, I climbed the stairs to check on Heather's progress. My life and her already in bed. I went to her just to get the top of her head, smiling to myself. She really was a good girl. And again, because she's not going to put her to bed. Yeah, I swear. I turned on her night light and closed her door behind me. I went to my own room and prepared myself. Put in the cool sheets. I decided that tomorrow after school I would take Heather to the park so she could ride her bike along and tip with my plans and close my eyes and drift off to sleep. Darkness, haze, frost. Slowly peeled my eyes open with black, head fish. Why was I awake? that was a sound effect, but there was 3 seconds of like, am I imagining that?
I would do it. I think the switch was like fun.
You're gonna get done with the show and Mary gets back and be like, oh, that was a great sound effect. How did you guys do that? That's why I was awake. I pulled myself to the sitting position and grabbed my face all the way.
Oh shit.
Why was she crying? Was it a nightmare? Or perhaps his dad keeps throwing her through the upstairs window? As I stood, I prayed that this wasn't going to turn into a real thing.
Heather, come on! Dad's gonna get up real early in the morning and fucking rent out some Toyota Camrys. Come on.
She's 5. This isn't like a 15-year-old who's like screaming every night. It's a 5-year-old, and he's like, I stumbled around in the darkness and pulled my door open. Stepped out into the hall, paused, thought I heard something moving. Another way to describe the sinister force me back in motion, shuffled down the hallway. The room was bathed in soft blue light. Tiny ballerina moved on the wall, on the bottom. Went to my daughter by her bed, whispering softly, and I didn't see her in the ears of the day. She wrapped her arms around my neck. Soft sniffles escaped her bubble nose. Stroked her hair down. She had another nose. One way looked up. Her eyes burned with tears. I didn't like that. She trailed off, suddenly getting herself under control. My eyes even the 5-year-old? What
Yeah,
is that?
what?
Oh, I thought you were like flicking her hair back.
Maybe I am too.
My eyes melted.
What is sweetie? When I woke up, and the bulldog was whispering in my ear.
That was much better. Thank you, thank you. She saw it. I take it back. I don't like this line of direction. We're like 10 minutes into the show. You gotta get kind of quit. Collapsing against me. I felt my stomach turn slightly. Prickles of unease rose along my arms like tiny mountains of fleshy fear. This was the second night in a row she had mentioned this call though. I didn't know what the hell she was talking about, what it was, but it was clearly bothering me. I'm not a doctor or anything, but I think she's upset about this.
Get used to the tall dog, sweetheart. Would you?
Now, Daddy has to agree. I wondered if someone at school had told her something, or she had seen something scary on TV about a dog. Whatever it was giving my daughter nightmares, and I needed to find a way to make it stop. Suddenly, Heather squeezed my neck, and I heard her gasp. Before I could react, she buried her face against me and started sobbing harder. Her whole body shook. Confused, I pulled her off me, tucked her face away. What's wrong? Heather pointed behind me towards the other door.
It just peeked around the corner and was looking at me.
Don't look at me. I spun around and I barked thunder. There was nothing there. Of course there was nothing. Why was there? Putting a hand over my chest, I forced myself to settle down.
There's nothing there.
It's just shadows.
Wait, do you want to sleep in my bed again?
That sounds like a train's gonna hit the floor. Her eyes remained locked on the open door as she slowly nodded. I picked her up and rubbed her back, and I walked her into the room. There's nothing to be afraid of. She had just been in bed. As I walked down the hallway, I paused and looked. Looked to my right, down the stairs, and it was just an empty wall on the side. Did I hear something moving? Heather squeezed me tight and whispered, "It's going to be hate that that's my child. I remember there was one time where it was me and Kayla, and like every now and then she'll sleep talk, and it's normally like nonsense or whatever. And I remember it was one night right before she had some presentation, something she had to do the next day. She was sleep talking and it woke me up, and I was like, okay, she has a big day tomorrow. I'll just Friday. I won't wake her up. Change over so I go sleep. For a while, as soon as I said, she's like, he's covered in chains. And I'm like, okay, get up. Like, whatever you have tomorrow is not that important. Who are you talking to? I've had moments like that. Things freak me out. This kind of reminds me, honestly, totally. It's a weird detail, but I picture myself in the same house I pictured the author in Stolen Tongues. Yeah, that's kind of where like his wife was like being bedclothes, and he kept being like he kept thinking there was something in the darkness downstairs. Like the way the house was set up became that house in my mind. And he described it as the same dark staircase, the same like kind of void around the edges of the frame. I'm into this so far. No, it's been great. Other than the father being incredibly abusive, I think no, I'm vibing with it so far. As long as we don't get into Tommy Taffy on this, I'm sold. So I shifted her away to my arms. The words sent a shiver of emptiness in my spine. I told Heather there was nothing. I brought her into my room and tucked her in bed. I sat beside her and rubbed her head and she drifted off to sleep. It took longer than at the previous time, but once she was really easy, I went to my bedroom door and stepped out into the hall. In the dead of night, when surrounded by his darkness, fear has a way of making monsters out of the shadows. Forced myself to the hall, reminded myself that I was an adult and with a strip of body, but I was finished with the sun. I looked down, gave close to air conditioning and nothing, squared light down the wall. I listened, holding my breath. Silence. I shook my head, telling myself that I was sleeping, and went back to my bed. I closed the door and lay down next to it. I stared at the ceiling, mind alert to the waves. I knew I wasn't alone. I pulled my phone off the nightstand and brought up into the browser. After taking a moment to think, I searched the term, tall dog. I scrolled through some dog shit sites that popped up and finally found a list of events. Click. I know this is going to be so important, but it's very funny when I just typed in tall dog, it's like a greyhound. I was like, no, just like, it explains everything. That dog is tall. She was right. My heart skipped a beat as I read the question.
My son keeps having nightmares and complains about something called the tall dog. Does anyone know what the hell this is? It's happened 3 nights in a row. It's driving me crazy. Ow!
He's being like attacked by the dog as he's typing that. Yeah.
Oh my god!
The top answer sent a chill rocking through my body. It read,
Your son is telling the truth. Get help! The tall dog is real. It'll keep coming back. It's tracking deep sadness, and it won't leave your son alone until it gets what it wants. It is very dangerous. I know this sounds insane, but I'm telling you the truth. I've come across others who have encountered this thing. Very real. Very
all right, okay, what a cool first off. For one,
the Google search of
the word tall dog, of which there's nothing else on the internet with those words in it, for sure.
You mean the ancient deity?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the old elder god. Yeah, it gets very...
Oh, for sure.
Okay, so we're gonna play game hunter. You're dad. Okay?
I'm the dad?
You're this dad.
Oh,
you're the dad of Heather. Just your wife's name, so I know you hate that name, sorry. But that's,
I don't.
Okay, you're right. In this scenario, you don't. So you have your daughter Heather, and she keeps having dreams about the tall dog. It keeps you up at night, whatever. And then stop making that face. And then you decide to search him, and you go on a message board, and someone's like, "My son's been going through this," and then you see a reply that's like, get help, quick, it's gonna kill you." What's your first course of action?
I would believe it immediately.
Okay. So what do you do?
What can you do? I don't know. Well, first off, I feel like that would. Well, what's weird is like get help. How? Get help. Well, I'd go to Ask Jeeves and I'd do tall dog help. Would be the because the last answer was so easy.
I would assume it means like religious of some kind, like a priest.
Oh, I would.
What would you do?
What am I gonna go into a church, dude? I got a tall dog. Well, he's like, oh my god, I'm spooky. I can't. Gets out like a big book. I can't even. Total, I have no idea.
I can't even remotely think what accent that was.
Oh, I'm an old Italian.
Oh,
The Vatican.
okay,
Oh.
so you're the Pope.
It's kinda.
What I really get at is how many times I've asked this question where you think you'd abandon your daughter?
Oh, very quick. Oh, extremely quick. I'd be like, well, I could make another.
Well, no, Dad, just the mom's dead.
Yeah, well, I can get a new wife.
Okay, just clean slate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was a good run, Shake. Keep the house, I believe.
So you just like abandon her at the house?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The exact same scenario you pulled on your fictional wife in Stolen Tongues, funny enough.
Correct.
You love abandoning women.
You know why? Every time it incites a new vacation. I'm always going to tropical places when this happens. So if anything, abandon the daughter. This book is sticking to Honolulu.
Alright. I keep getting married and having children so I can take Jewish vacations periodically. No, anyway, but it's scary music, yeah, whatever. I put my phone down and stared at the stars. My heart was racing. This couldn't be true, couldn't it? Funny, man, it was just like one Reddit post. Like,
Man looks at one Reddit post, he's just like,
every part of me wanted to write it off as a bizarre coincidence, but it was so specific that I couldn't. What am I supposed to do with this? I thought, this is crazy. Stuff like this doesn't happen. It doesn't exist. Yet here I was, staring at a warning on my phone while my terrified daughter lay curled up next to me. It was a miracle. I turned on my side and stared at the closed bedroom door. Just outside the door were the stairs leading to the ground level. As I closed my eyes, I pictured something long, slowing itself up, down dragging along the wood. I forced the image out of my head and shivered. There was nothing out there. The next day, Heather didn't mention anything about the nightmares, and I didn't ask her. I wanted it to go away, and bringing it up in the daylight didn't seem like it would help my cause. I prepared her for school and got myself ready for work. The guy whose face is right over the top of the monitor. When I was like, I didn't want to ask her about it, I just saw him go.
good call.
As we left the house, I realized just how tired I was. The lack of sleep last night was taking its toll on me, and I made a mental note to stop and get more coffee after I dropped Heather off. While I drove, my mind wandered back to the message board warning. In the daylight, it seemed a little silly. I pushed the fear back into the corner of my mind and scolded myself internally for being so irrational. I reminded myself again that I was an adult who didn't believe in monsters and things that go bump in the night. After I dropped Heather off, I went and got another cup of coffee and then drove to work. My brain accepted the caffeine gratefully, and as I sipped on the steaming liquid, pondered what my wife would make of me. She'd probably say I was being stupid, and she may not. But I see now why he's such a big the cycle that was in the household. Honey, the daughter keeps having these nightmares. You ever thought about being a man about it?
Just man up.
You ever thought about it?
Goddamn.
It's an awful household.
Just here.
The thought made me cringe. I suddenly missed her. That was a good
That was a bad follow of mine.
Ah, she would yell at me, wouldn't she?
She was a bitch.
Eventually, I pulled into the office parking lot and began my day. Being Friday, I was hoping I could leave a little early. Crisp morning air, a prelude to a possible beautiful day. I still planned on taking Heather to the park. I had hopes that fresh air and sunshine would erase her nightmares, burning them away with lazy brilliance. Well, things didn't go as planned. Go ahead. I know, my brain did the same thing. Go ahead.
Little millennial smirk there.
Well, things didn't go as planned.
Well, that did happen. That just happened. You're going to want to see this. It's right behind you, so whatever. Hold on. Halfway through the day, I got a call from Heather's school. I said, no, it just said, I didn't answer the new one. I sat dumbfounded as the principal told me I needed to come pick my daughter up. When I asked why, he informed me that Heather had started fighting for class.
I have no idea how I need to respond to
It
that.
just changes, like, visually. I was imagining, like, a very scared little girl, and now it's, like, a piranha mouse. Like, I started biting her. She probably learned it from her mom. And wouldn't stop until a teacher unfortunately pulled her off. Like, the teacher's got a foot in the other kid, like, trying to rip him up. She killed 3 other classmates. It's brutal.
Also, classmates, more than one. So they sat her back down. They're like, "Don't do that again." She's like, it jumps to the next person.
Be like ripped off.
Let's get back up and grab it.
And how many kids were bit before they had to call the town?
5. At least, yeah, 5. Easy.
I closed my open mouth. Shock erupted across my face. There had to be some kind of... My daughter didn't do things like that. Only her mother did. The principal assured me that he was just as surprised as I was, but that she needed to be taken home today. The other kids were scared of her, and the parents were being notified. What?
That was a pretty rational response. Hey, your kid was bit today.
Hold on, no. I was in
I
like...
had to pull them off.
Hold on, no. I'm saying that, like, I was in the first grade. I remember a kid biting someone else. And kids get into a fight and bite someone, right? And it's not, don't do that. Don't do your whole, like...
You know, the school of werewolves. Hello?
Is that your accent of me now?
Oh my god.
There it
You know, the school of werewolves? Come on.
What I was saying is, like, you're not afraid. You're just like, that kid's weird, right? The kid that bites is weird. How terrifying is this 5-year-old that they're calling parents and the kids are, like, scared and afraid and stuff like that?
They've had the phone press.
Yeah.
This is the girl that brings, like, tortilla chips and dips them in ketchup at lunch.
Yeah.
And she pretends she's like the pony girl.
Yeah.
Everybody had a pony girl at school.
Did anyone in here know a horse girl? Like wolf girl? Okay.
Everybody!
I swear I heard someone say my wife was one.
Yeah. Married her!
Wow, that's
Saddle up!
That's a weird car ride home.
I call her Heldago!
Was anyone in here, you don't have to raise your hand, I'm sorry that he did that to you. Was anyone else in here the pony girl or the wife? Okay. I see, you're way too eager to admit that. Great, I thought. I'll be the single dad with the violent child. As soon as the thought popped into my head, I got angry with myself. Who cares what they think? I need to go see if my daughter's alright. For the first time in the story, bullshit. I informed my boss of the phone call, and he nodded me out the door. I thanked him and told him I'd make it up on Monday before bolting to my car. As I drove, I tried to make sense as to the possible reason why Heather would act like this. She wouldn't just do it. One of the kids must have been picking on her. One of them must have provoked her. She wouldn't just start fighting kids. I sat at a red light, anxiously drumming my fingers against the steering wheel. Something was going on with my daughter, and I needed to get to the bottom of it. First the nightmares, and now this. Clearly, Heather was going through something, and as a responsible parent, I needed to find out what it was. It's like he's trying to convince himself.
Yeah, could it not be the fucking brain tumor from her mom?
Or because like she's been having nightmares and he's struggling like, I'm a good parent, I'm gonna say don't do that or something. Yeah, like it's funny the boss got him out the door like, oh, his freak daughter did something again. I grit my teeth, he does it a lot. As the light turned green and I gunned the engine, I wondered if that's something to do with my wife. I mean, dead mom, that could, I'm not saying it is, but potentially could be a reason. I miss mom. Why? You're like 5, do you even remember her, idiot? Stupid. You know what? No pizza tonight.
Wait, didn't I just buy you a fucking Nintendo Switch? Hello?
Was your mom Mario? Didn't think so.
Yeah, goddamn.
I wondered if this was Heather's way of coming to terms with her death a year later. I felt my eyes suddenly well up and my knuckles turned white. I was crying. I thought he was getting mad. So he was like, stupid kid. It wasn't fair that she had been taken away from us. What had we done to what had we done